All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody has a good week so far, is having a good week, ready for the weekend. I'm sure ready. We got a lot of sports on tap, as you can see. All these going on up above. MMA is the focus, though. We got 13 fights. 13 fights is good. Fingers crossed we keep all 13 at the apex. That's no good, in my opinion. I always like the fans. I mean, I'll just say Abu Dhabi might as well be the apex. Those guys and gals, I mean, little golfers clap at best half the time, but hey, let's get a little better main event than we got last week as well. And I do not see how this one can disappoint. Steve Garcia, David Onama. Excited to talk through them with my man, Big Marley. How are we doing today?
Good. Yeah, definitely don't love Apex events. I want to go to one eventually. I think it'd be cool to be there. But I think Garcia Onama belongs in an Apex small cage. It's gonna be wild.
Oh, yeah. Well, I always have loved my guy, David Onama. Steve Garcia, he's a dog, too. I mean, we should see an awesome fight there. As you can see, no favorite above minus 400 on this card, which you like to see. Plenty of finishing props as well. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 of the 13 right now is expected to finish. Not too many big favorites. A lot of expected finishes. Should get some big scores. Great mid-tier, too. Just looking at these top 3 alone, minus 700, minus 160, minus 155. You are going to need some score some points this week. A lot of live dogs. I'm excited for this one. Any broad slate overview for you before we go fight by fight?
No, main event's pretty all in for me. Maybe there's a couple spots looking to hear what you think, but I don't know. I think it's a tricky card. And then the ITD numbers, I think there's ways to get different on this card as well.
I like it. I always like to hear that. What's up, Little Neck, YSM, Brock? Hope everyone enjoying some football, enjoying some hoops, enjoying some hockey. So much going on right now. So much money to be made. We're going to be spending the next 45 an hour talking some MMA, though. Again, all we ask, like button, subscribe button. Helps us out a ton. And if you do want to join us at the Nation, no better times you see above. 5 days for $19 using the code SHIP19. If there's ever time to take advantage of a promotion like that, it is when there's a plethora of sports going on, which is exactly what we have right now. It's a busy time, but it is an awesome time. Also wishing everyone out there a very happy Halloween. Enjoy it with the family, enjoy it by yourself, enjoy it however you're doing it. Maybe eat a little candy there. Cheat day. Hope everybody does have a good weekend and enjoys their Halloween. We're going to go fight by fight. No time to waste. 13 to talk about. Bottom to top, like always, first fight of the night. Talita Alencar minus 225, Ariana Carnelosi plus 190, fight to finish plus 160, Alencar plus 225 inside the distance, Carnelosi plus 550. Interesting line movement in this one. So Alencar opened minus 500 on October 21st. Ever since then, money has been coming in on the Carnelosi side. It is now, again, minus 225 plus 190. Inside the distance prop, though, Alencar opened plus 285. Now plus 225. All I got to say is Carnelosi's arms are probably as big as my head. If you are one to pick fighters to win based on how they look, you're probably picking Carnelosi in this one. At the end of the day, though, your guns does not translate to too much in the MMA streets, as we've seen with a lot of big boys that just, can't get the job done. So what are you doing in this one, Alencar Carnelosi?
I mean, I actually thought I had it as a 2, to be honest with you. It's closer to a 2-star than it is a 4-star for me. I'm okay using either side of it, but to me, this fight is a poor man's Esparza versus a poor man's Andrade. You know what I mean? It's like just pure power from Carnelosi, but she's nowhere near as good as Andrade. And then Alencar just wants to wrestle, but she's not as good as Esparza. But I think Carnelosi's so bad at takedown defense that it is kind of a clear path for Alencar to win 2 or 3 rounds by getting takedowns and keeping top control. She doesn't do a ton of work even when she's on the ground. So we really need Carnelosi to get back up, and we can just keep racking up the takedowns for Alencar to pay off that $9K salary. So I don't love her, but to get different, I am okay using her. And then on the other side, I don't love Carnelossi either, but she is live. She could knock out Alencar in the first round. But if she's not knocking out Alencar, I just have a hard time seeing this be a striking match where she wins on the cards. I think she's going to be taken down. She's going to spend time on her back. And I don't want to say it's knockout or bust for her, but she's going to have to really improve to keep this fight standing or knock this girl out. So closer to a 2-star, but I'm fine with either side.
Yeah, I mean, Carnelossi's takedown defense sitting at 14% right now. No get-up game. 2.5 or Alencar averages 2.5 takedowns per 15 minutes. It just feels so simple in the fact that if Alencar is going to wrestle, I think she has success. And if that's the case at 9K, we have a pretty loaded 9K range. Like, people are definitely going to want Dalgarian, rightfully so, Johnson, etc., which is going to keep her ownership low. And I will be eating chalk. Like, I will be playing this main event. Some other mid-tier fights that are pretty chalky, I will be eating. So when I am playing, or when I'm eating a lot of chalk, I'm totally good going Alencar up top to get different. I think she'll wrestle. Inside the distance prop keeps coming down. Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. Carnelossi, I was debating going underweight tag or even with the field, but looking at it, so taking a page out of your book, plus 550 to win is about 15%. Plus 550 inside the distance, about 15%. And we have her projected at 13% owned. So if you're just getting her inside the distance prop, like if she gets a finish, it feels like you almost surely need her. So I'm good just being right around that 15% mark. Again, I don't think she wins, but if she does, they think plus 550, she has a chance to finish. And I will take right around that 13% that she is. I don't want this fight to burn me in any way. Carnelossi gets a knockout win. Alencar gets a 120. Like, I want to still be live. I don't have that strong of a take on this fight. So, yeah, no hot take here. I'll be pretty close to the field on both. But Alencar, definitely my preferred play, even for 1,800 more. All right, let's keep it rolling. Next fight on the card. Sung Hung Ko, minus 185, taking on Phil Rowe, plus 160. Minus 105 for this fight to finish. Rowe, plus 275 inside the distance. Ko, plus 230. So the first thing that stands out to me is this fight was minus 125 to finish earlier in the week, and now it is minus 105. So the over has taken some money, which we don't love to see. Does that do anything for you in this one? Break it down. Anyway, what's going on, Abrasive? Great to see you.
No, it doesn't really do too much for me, but I do think it could favor Ko if he is they're looking to wrestle like he did in his last fight. He should have the wrestling edge in this fight. I also think he could win on the striking as well. He's the one I see pushing forward, landing harder shots. He's got some big leg kicks too, some heavy legs. Where Rowe's just more technical and long, I'd say. His last finish, one of the nastiest finishes I've ever seen. The elbows over Lusa, that was disgusting. But I also expected him to get a little bit more love on the line because of that, and I just don't even know that it's there. So I am on the Ko side. I don't really want too much Rowe. I think he would be I think we're relying on a finish for Rowe to score well anyways. I don't think it's going to be a striking match where either one of them is going to be super high volume. So Rowe would need a submission or a knockout for any high score, but Ko could wrestle for 3 rounds and put up 100 plus. So he's my preferred side in this one. And I'm hoping he's not too owned. I feel like Rowe maybe will get a little bit extra owned because of that last fight where people don't even know who Ko is. So I don't think too much ownership will go there.
I agree. Especially at 8,800, there's just a lot of, like I said, I mentioned the two, I think Dalgarian and Johnson, they'll get a lot, but especially now that he's minus 185, so some money's came in on Rowe and the over. I don't love this fight personally. I think Rowe is probably my preferred just for the 1,400 savings, like 85 could be enough. I mean, another thing that stands out a lot, 5 inches, like 6'3" to 5'10", 5 inches in height, 9 inches in reach. But knowing Phil Rowe, like he doesn't use that length or that reach advantage as well as he should. I mean, he has those numbers over a lot of people, very big for the division. But again, he doesn't really stick and move on the outside. When he closes the gap, Ko will have more power. Like you said, I like the leg kicks. If someone wrestles, I think it's him. But he needs the score. Like he needs a big boy score at that price tag. And I prefer Alencar. I guess I'll just ask you that. Alencar or Ko, who would you prefer?
I think Ko for the $200 savings, actually.
Okay, yeah. I just think Alencar a little more likely to wrestle, but Ko can wrestle in this one too. Not a fight I love, but not a fight I'm completely fading. I think there's some worse fights on the card. And one of those fights, this next one, Elise Ardeline, minus 400, Montserrat Ruiz, plus 300, plus 185 for this fight to finish. And man, these inside the distance prop. Ardeline plus 190, Ruiz plus 1,000. I do not like the Ruiz side at all. It would take a lot of teams for me to play her. So many live dogs on this card. She's the biggest underdog and the worst inside the distance prop. Ardeline on the other side, though, plus 250 she opened to finish. Now plus 190. I mean, this could just be one-way traffic. And again, she's the highest priced fighter on the card and the biggest favorites. But 9,300, like, that's not a big boy price tag. We have a lot of live dogs. We have a strong mid-tier. So I don't think it's hard to get her. Her ownership's going to be in check. I'm definitely going to be playing some Ardeline. Similar to Alan Carr. In chalkier lineups, I think there's a 100-point upside. And I don't think the ownership's really there. So, yeah, she continues to take money. The inside the distance looks good. I got her over Ruiz. DFS to win. Definitely I feel good about this one.
Yeah, I wouldn't play Ruiz with your money. So I'm going to X her out first thing. I mean, the only path for her to win any fight would be to get a takedown and hang out in top control for 3 to 4 minutes. And I'm never going to rely on her to do that. I think Ardeline is better at doing that. She's going to have a big striking edge as well. And she could beat on this girl if she gets takedown. So I'm definitely okay getting some Ardeline. And the lower owned she is, the more I like her. So I have her, I think, right under 20% right now. I'm definitely cool being closer to 30. If I can get 40%, I'd be okay with that too. But there are names below her that do have like more likely higher ceilings. But I think she cruises here.
Yeah. Do you see her like wrestling Ruiz? Do you just see her walking forward, just putting it on her? Like, how do you see it getting this fight going?
I kind of just see her putting it on her, but Ruiz just constantly going for takedowns, and those takedowns turning to being Ruiz on her back and Ardeline in top position. So I think hopefully she's awarded with those takedowns. It could suck if like Ruiz is like pulling guard or whatever because she's just so bad. But I mean, I've been waiting to fade this girl for a long time. So if Ardeline has to be the girl to do it with, let's go Ardeline. I'll ask Ardeline. Let's go. Yeah,
I mean, plus 190 again, inside the distance. I hope it keeps moving in that direction because she just can't be that owned. Like, there's just too many fighters in the upper tier, and they're all cheaper, and they'll project better. Inside the distance is better. Yeah, definitely give me some Ardeline at 9,300. No Ruiz in this one. Next fight on the card, another women's fight. We have Norma Dumont, minus 159, Ketlin Vieira, plus 139. Plus 275 for this fight to finish, which is the most likely on the card to go the distance. Dumont plus 400 inside the distance. Vieira plus 565. I was going to fade this fight completely. I still plan on it in 20 or less, unless you talk me into something. What's Dumont's path to get 95 plus at this price? And then I guess just because of that and the 1K savings, I prefer Vieira, but I might just X this fight and hope neither scores.
I think Dumont does have a better chance just landing takedowns and being active. She's a fairly active on the ground, and she can strike when she's on the feet as well. So I think she has the path to scoring high at low ownership, whereas Vieira is more playing. She lands the harder shots, but I doubt she knocks out Dumont. Dumont was knocked out by somebody like early in her UFC career. I don't remember who that was. Maybe Megan Anderson or something like that.
I'll look it up for you.
But so, I mean, it's possible that Vieira could knock her out. But Vieira is just not a high volume striker to really do any point scoring if she wins a decision here. So she would have to be landing takedowns herself. And I don't think she's as active on the ground as Dumont is. So my preferred play is Dumont. Probably don't want too much of Vieira here. The more lineups I make, the more Vieira I could get to. But if it's a 20 or less, I'd be fine Xing her out. And I'd want a little bit of Dumont here.
Okay, maybe I'll keep her in the pool. We'll see. 8,600, like, she definitely has to score. You were right, though. It was Megan Anderson. What a name. TBT to Megan Anderson back in 2020. It's a good memory by our man, Big Marley.
I feel like I might have bet Dumont or something in that one.
Yeah, first round just starts sure. Not a fight I like too much, but Big Marley, a little interest on the Dumont side. Next fight on the card, a fight that I think we have to have interest in. I have interest for sure. Dante Johnson, minus 350. Cedricus Dumas, plus 285. Minus 700 for this fight to finish. Johnson minus 285 inside the distance. Dumas plus 400. Johnson in round 1 minus 110. He did open plus 110 in round 1, took 20 cents, now minus 110. And this is kind of what I'm saying, like the Alancars, the Coes, I mean, Dumont, Ardeline, like Johnson's going to stand out so clearly amongst these top tier fighters, and rightfully so. Like, I want him to, but when you're playing him, you can't eat all the chalk. Like, you go him, you go the main event. Like, if you keep going down with the chalk, you got to get different somewhere. There's Carnelosi. There's enough other spots to get different, of course. I'm going to play Johnson, but that is the reason you build a Johnson team. You drop 200 to Alencar. You are definitely getting a little different that way. But, man, I've been waiting to see on Twitter, like, Cedricus Dumas is cut. You just haven't seen it, which I'm almost happy about because I can just keep jamming his fights and almost fading him. He's a better nail than he is a hammer. With all that being said, I mean, Johnson's a clear play. I don't even know what needs to be said about him. But Dumas, you get leverage off of a very popular Johnson in a fight minus 700 to finish at low ownership, and he's plus 400 inside the distance, which most of his win equity is coming by finish. So, I mean, yeah, unless we get another nut shot or whatever and this fight gets no contest in round 1, I think it scores well. Johnson's an easy play with ownership, but I'll definitely get some leverage on the Dumas side for all the reasons I just stated. What about you?
Yeah, for sure. I think Johnson makes a ton of sense because he's going to be pushing forward and trying to knock out Dumas. I mean, everybody hates Dumas. He's my freaking least favorite fighter, too, because I was all in on Zach Reese and with this little pussy. And I knew he was gonna puss out, too. I was like, oh, he's going to get that money, pay for some legal fees, and get on to the next fight. And he could do it again, too. That's why I would worry about being 100% on any Dumas fight at this point. But if Johnson doesn't get that first round knockout, this could be the best we've ever seen Dumas look. I feel like Dumas could like almost put on a wrestling clinic in the second and the third rounds here if he doesn't get a finish in the second. But yeah, I want to be heavy on this fight because I think it's a first round Johnson knockout or Dumas is putting up a big score, kind of doing whatever he wants. I think Dumas is probably the better fighter in this matchup. He's just a bigger pussy, and Johnson hits a lot harder. And I do hope Johnson knocks him out in the first round. But if he doesn't, I'll have my leverage on the Dumas side, and hopefully fade him again in the next fight as well.
I might end up more overweight to Dumas than Johnson to the field when it's all said and done. I mean, we're looking 4 to 5 times higher owned is Johnson. Another thing that stands out, I mean, 4 or 6 inches in height advantage for Dumas, 5 inches in reach. I mean, man, yeah, UFC debut for Johnson, 6-0. Like, Dumas has fought some guys for sure. So I'm not picking Dumas, but go ahead.
Honestly, Johnson's regional film isn't even as impressive as Dumas's regional film. Like, if we're getting rid of all of Dumas's UFC fights, I feel like he would be the more impressive fighter than Johnson. It's just that everybody hates him and they can't wait to bet against him. I feel like this line for Johnson should be closer to like minus 175.
I like to hear
it. And it's all first round equity, I think.
Yeah, no, I like to hear that a lot. You think if it gets out of the first round, like Dumas is a live bet?
Possibly, yeah.
I like it. Didn't expect you to have that much confidence and stuff on it. I'm just looking at ownership, props, leverage, game theory. I mean, Dumas is a clear play. It's also
a guess. I mean, because we haven't seen it. I mean, all of Johnson. Anytime all their fights end in the first round on the regional scene, it's like, yeah, let me see you in the UFC after the first round, see how you look there. And it almost never goes well. So I feel like it's a terrible terrible outcome for what everybody wants to see in this one, which is Dumas to just get deaded. But he could actually go out there and look impressive.
I do think the UFC wants that. I think it's the clear softball they're looking for. The UFC debut, they want to get rid of Dumas. Let's do it. But hey, the UFC, what they want does not always come to fruition, as we saw with Bo Nickel and stuff like that. So yeah, great fight to target. I'll probably be overweight on this fight. Johnson minus 110 in round 1. Obviously a great play. Will be chalky. Dumas for all the reasons we said. What's up, Mike? Good to see you. Late to the party. That is totally fine. Again, yeah, we are running these shows 8:45 Eastern for the most parts moving forward on Thursdays. Next fight on the card, very closely lined fights. Timmy Kwamba minus 119. Chang Ho Lee plus 101, plus 135 for this fight to finish. Lee plus 275 inside the distance. Kwamba plus 325. So looking at these odds, Kawamba opened the dog at plus 170. Now finds himself as a minus 119 favorite. Pricing though, when the line happened, like when DraftKings released pricing, Kawamba, I believe, let me check. I think he was a bigger dog. Yeah, he was like around the minus 140 range when these pricing came out. So if you're just looking money line value relative to the price, you will see a little money line value on the Chang Ho Lee side. Again, such a loaded mid-tier though. Like these top 3 fights, you're all expected to finish in good. Money line value doesn't mean as much for me. I need ceiling even in the mid-tier. Do you see either of these guys with a big ceiling? What I'm seeing on the stone is Lee has wrestling upside. So if he wins, I think he can get there.
Yeah, Lee would have like the minute-to-minute ceiling in this one. He's a fun fighter, especially offensively, but he's poor defensively, which really helps his opponents out as well. I just don't know how aggressive Kawamba will be. I don't know that he can really take advantage of Lee's pace and defensive or just poor defensive techniques to where he's going to go out there and get a bunch of takedowns, because it's possible that he could get 6 takedowns in this fight if he wanted to. I just don't know that he would even attempt 6 takedowns. And he's not a high enough volume striker to feel good about him winning a decision. So you almost want Lee's to walk into a big shot and Kawamba get the finish if you're playing him. But any win from Lee, I do think is going to score more than 10x and possibly like 90 or more. So I'm picking Kawamba to win. It was like such a close fight, and he had the plus next to his name when I was looking at the fight. So I picked Kawamba. But I mean, I'm not trying to lay juice on either one of these guys. So maybe my pick changes to Lee really now that he's the plus money play. And I would prefer him in DFS if I was picking him to win, because I think he's going to put up a good score. Whereas if Kawamba wins, he could score 60 in a decision or like 90, 95 if he is able to get a finish. Lee, I don't think 60's in the playbook if he's going to get his hand raised here. So preferred play is probably Lee in this one. I'll change it, but my pick to win was Kawamba, so that's why I have it as a 3-3.
That makes sense. Lee's definitely my preferred side. He opened plus 285 to finish, now plus 275, so not much line movement, but a little bit in his favor. Kawamba the opposite, though, opened plus 285 inside the distance, now plus 325. So even though Kawamba is the favorite, the underdog in Lee is more likely to finish this fight. He's more likely to wrestle. You can see right there he throws more volume. Just in a close fight, give me the guy who I believe scores more in wins, and he's cheaper by 800. So, yeah, Lee's definitely my preferred side. I really don't like Kawamba too much just because, I'd rather play all 6 of these fighters, to be honest, that we're going to get to in the last 3 fights over Kawamba, and they're all cheaper. So, yeah, Lee for me in this one. That's all I got there. Next fight on the card, we'll keep it rolling. Billy Elikana minus 260. Kevin Christian plus 220. Minus 260 for this fight to finish. Elikana minus 120 inside the distance. Christian plus 300. Elikana in round 1 plus 300. I'll throw it right to you in this one. We got Kevin Christian, the 6'7", 80-inch reach fighter, making his UFC debut. What are your thoughts on him? And then, yeah, how do you see this fight going?
Man, I think this sucks.
That's why I threw it to you like that.
I was like a little embarrassed watching this guy's fights, to be honest with you. I think he's bad. I mean, when you look best by throwing up like triangles off your back, that's not good in the UFC, dude. That's not going to cut it against these guys. I don't think Elikana is very good either. But if I have to bet this fight, give me Elikana at minus 250. I don't know that I want to play him in DFS. The minus what was it, minus 325 that the fight ends inside the distance. I just don't know that it's that likely. I mean, maybe
some money came back. It's now plus minus 260. So like, what is that? 65 cents came in on the over since Tuesday. I put these odds out. So a lot of money has come in on the over.
Okay. So yeah,
still the third most likely to finish though.
Yeah, and I put it as a 4-star because of that. But in my mind, it's closer to a 3-star just because Elikana is a knockout or bust type of fighter. I don't think he is going to go out there and wrestle, especially when you got to worry about this guy throwing up arm bars and triangles. So I think Elikana is really relying on a knockout for any big score. And Christian, I mean, he sucks so bad. He's going to have to get a triangle off his back to win. I mean, it could happen. If it happens, he's going to score well. But I think I'm just going to long-term fade Christian every single fight he's out there. I'm not going to use him. I think it's going to be my go-to plan. I just thought he looked so bad. And then if Elancana is going to be popular, I don't want him. If he's going to be low owned, then I'm okay with him. But I have it as a 4-star because of that. I really might play it as closer to a 2 or a 3-star.
Yeah, I don't think Elancana is going to be that owned, but he's going to get some ownership for sure. Again, I just keep going back to Johnson, Bulgarian, right in that range that people will prefer. I'm going to play some Elancana just because I had the same read. Like Christian, this dude does not look good at all. Elancana, I think, can knock him out. The bigger they are, the harder the fall. If Christian can't really end up on top, I mean, he's okay spending time off his back, which is a little concern. I will say for the Christian side, though, as bad as he might be, he's plus 220 or plus 220 money line and plus 300 to finish this fight. So most of his wins are expected to be finishes. He's low owned. He's only 7,300. I'm natural. It's almost like the Dumas thing all over again. Like I'm gonna play some plus 300s. One of the best inside the distance props down below, and he's not really getting ownership. So for that reason, I'm just forced to play him for the props. But Elancana is my pick. Again, the little tape I did watch on Christian, I was not impressed one bit. At least Elancana is solid everywhere. Like he doesn't have to be great, but he's better on the feet. Christian's probably the better grappler, but the submission props are identical. Both of them are plus 550 to get a sub. If I told you one guy got a sub, that this fight ended by submission, who do you think's more likely to do it?
Christian.
Yeah. He definitely seems like the primary grappler. But to see Elancana with the same sub prop, the big difference in this fight is the KO props. Elancana's plus 140 by KO. That's a pretty good number. Plus 650 for Christian on the other side. So I honestly don't even know if I have a preferred side. I'm going to play both. It's the third most likely fight to finish. But I do have concerns about it for the reasons you said. And 65 cents has come on the over just in a couple of days. That's also a little concerning as well. So not a slam dunk fight, but one that I think you have to keep in your pool the more teams you are making. Next fight on the card. This fight was Cody Durden stepped in this fight pretty late. Pricing just came out on DraftKings. Haven't seen it yet on FanDuel. So we do have two $9,100, $7,100 fights in this one that we'll get to. But minus 300 Nascimento, plus 250 Cody Durden. Only one book I see, and it's a pretty no-name book. Inside the distance, fight to finish, minus 138. I do see like under 2.5 at minus 117. So something around there, about minus 140 to finish. It's also worth noting when I put these up on Tuesday, it was minus 200 plus 170. $1 came in on the Nascimento side, now at minus 300. This fight's been all over the place, though. So on October 22nd or 27th, when it came out, Nascimento opened minus 300. An hour later, it was all the way down to minus 190. And then slowly but surely, monies came in on the Nascimento side. And Cody Durden's always going to be a play for me when he's 70, when he's in the lower tier. Like the dude just will wrestle for days. If he wins, it's hard to see him not scoring at 7,100. So that's easy. I'm torn on Nascimento, though, because he's also a good wrestler, but he's such a good control guy where like he just doesn't let people up. He can go win a decision, get 2 or 3 takedowns, 7 to 9 minutes of control time like we've seen, and score 66, 83. Like that ain't going to cut it up here. Like he's a lot more position over damage and stuff. And at this price, you need both. You want takedowns, but you also need them to throw. I mean, we just saw Gelton Almeida. Like you need to do something too at 9,100. So I don't know how much I love Nascimento, to be honest. But with that being said, I mean, the fight could play out on the mat 4/5 of the time. And if that's the case, a minus 300 guy where a fight's supposed to play out on the mat mainly, maybe I'm not overlooking it, but maybe I'm not giving Nascimento ceiling enough credit. What's your thoughts on this?
I think I want to kind of play Nascimento as like I want to max his ownership around his first round submission potential, because I just don't see how he scores over 90 points if he doesn't get a first round sub, because he is a really good control grappler. He's not a great wrestler, I wouldn't say. I actually think Durden's the better offensive wrestler, but Nascimento's the better and the more dangerous grappler. Durden can be subbed. Nascimento's never been subbed, and he has like 15 or 18 submission wins. I think Nascimento is going to sub him at some point, but if it's not in the first round, I think it's too late at that point. So whenever those odds come out, I'll probably dictate my ownership on him there. And then usually, yeah, I agree. I do like Durden almost all the time, especially at 7,100. I mean, Durden doesn't want to wrestle in this matchup, I don't think. Durden probably wants to keep this one standing. And it's a good matchup for him to not take a shit ton of damage like he has in his 4 losses. So I feel like this is the time you use your wrestling and defense, keep the fight standing. And that's where I like Durden in this fight. The Nascimento's Contender Series fight was awesome, though. I mean, he could put up some volume as well. So I wouldn't give Durden a clear win if it was striking here. But the way I see it is it's going to end up on the mat at some point. And I think Nascimento's a little bit too slick, and he's going to submit him at some point. So first round, I want him. Second round, I'm out. So
yeah.
we'll see what that is. And then I'm going to be low on Durden. I'm not going to X him out, but I'll be low on him.
That makes sense. I mean, yeah, the Nascimento against like Jake Hadley, Tagir Ulanbekov, like really good or really solid wrestler grapplers that way. Nascimento was better. He was just a step ahead. His control's so good. His grappling's good. He seems to beat his opponent to the next spot. So, yeah, maybe I should lower my interest on Durden a little bit. Just, man, when he wins, he usually does score. But you're right. Like, Nascimento will be the better wrestler. And I think, Durden's probably going to want to keep this fight on the feet. I don't know why he wouldn't. The thing is, though, like, Durden has some paws on him. And I say that when he's taking on primary grappler wrestlers. Like, he can bite down on the mouthpiece and throw something. So if he hurts Nascimento, I'll have some at 7,100. But, yeah, not a fight I love too much, especially 91-71. I like the other 9,100, 7,100 fight better when we get there.
Durden came up to the suite when we were in Atlanta to see Dan, Best Fight Picks. And God, he looked like his eyes, like he looked like he was still concussed up there. I was like, God, I felt bad for him. He looked like he was fucked up, man.
That's funny. That's cool, though. That's cool that you got to see him. All right, keep it rolling. Next fight on the card. Main card time. This was a pretty good one right here. Charles Radke taking on Daniel Frunza. Minus 170 Radke. Plus 145 Frunza. Minus 250 for this fight to finish. Radke plus 110 inside the distance. Frunza plus 220. I mean, just looking at those odds alone, on top of, we've seen a lot of overs take money. Tuesday, this fight was minus 160 to finish. Now, minus 250. Sign me up for this fight every which way. You can leave money with Radke. Frunza, one of my favorite dogs. Chuck Buffalo, he's aggressive. Frunza, he'll fight for your dollar. I love this fight. I'm excited. Could be fight of the night, I think, too. I don't really even have a strong lean. I guess maybe Frunza for the 1,200 savings, since I prefer others, or like I feel more confident about the upper tier than lower tier. But yeah, if I ended up overweight on both, I'd be totally good with it. What about you?
Yeah, I like this fight a lot. I think Frunza has the better hands. He's going to be the higher volume striker, but he's been dropped 4 times in 3 rounds in the UFC or in the octagon. And I just don't think that's a good thing. I feel like Radke probably knocks him out at some point just because his chin's not there anymore. I also give Radke the wrestling edge as well. I just think, I think we're probably going to have a pretty good score either way. So it's closer to a 5-star than it is a 4-star, but I think there's definitely paths to both of them scoring in the 70s and not being on the optimal lineup. So I don't know that I'm going to put it at 5, but I like this fight quite a bit. Picking Radke to win based on Frunza's questionable chin.
It makes sense. Just say this fight gets past round 1, maybe even like halfway through round 2. Do you see either having the cardio advantage?
No, I didn't. I'm not sure. I didn't even dig into it that deep. I just kind of was looking at skills as I was watching it.
Okay. My thought was Frunza might. I mean, he's knocked down so much, but man, he recovers quickly. And Chuck Buffalo, he's just so aggressive that like if he has him hurt, he unloads a little bit. If Frunza can survive, was my thought there. Let me check round 3 props, finishing props to see what books think. Frunza round 3. About the same, plus 1,000, plus 900. But that's the closest gap from rounds 1 and 2. So maybe similar cardio that way. I'm hoping it doesn't even get that far. And books do have interesting. Under 2.5, like minus, depends on the book, minus 120, minus 155, minus 105. But yeah, I'm expecting this fight probably to finish in the first 2 rounds, the winner to score well. Again, appreciate everyone hanging out. Like button helps us out a ton. Subscribe button helps us out as well. Again, we'd love to have you at the Nation as well. For as low as $19, you can give us a try for 5 days using the code SHIP19. Next fight on the card. This one should be fun. Isaac Dalgarian taking on Yadier Davale. I might have definitely butchered that. You know who I'm talking about. Minus 241, Dalgarian. Plus 206, Yadier. Minus 190 for this fight to finish. Dalgarian minus 110 inside the distance. Davale plus 375. This fight minus 200 to finish on Tuesday. Now it's minus 190. Dalgarian minus 110 inside the distance, though, for someone that is showing 5.15 takedowns per 15. And I think Yadier is good too. 9-0. Like, I'm expecting a great fight. Just, man, Dalgarian's wrestling and just nonstop willingness to wrestle. I think he has success for sure early, but we saw it against C-Rod. Like, he had a bunch of success, and C-Rod just kept staying in there, kept fighting it off. What just happened? What big play happened?
Oh, I just thought someone snapped his knee off.
Complete different than that. Yeah, I mean, it's Dalgarian's a great play at 9,100. Most of his wins should score well. I like Yadier too at 7,100 though. I think this is a dogfight. I think he's a good fighter, and I expect him to score well in wins as well. So yeah, what are you doing in this one?
Yeah, I'm playing it. I like it. Dalgarian, always going to be interested in for DFS. Just a relentless grappler, really good in top control, can hunt for the submission after 3 takedowns in the first round and get it. So I'm cool with Dalgarian every single time out there, but I'm picking Yadier here. I just think he's the more well-rounded fighter. My worry though is that Dalgarian dominates the first round and then Yadier puts it on him and he wins a decision by taking the second and the third round. And he probably can't score that much at that point, but he's the underdog, $7,100. The more Dalgarian slows down, the more I like Yadier. I don't know, man. That's kind of how I see it going, though. Is Dalgarian is going to take the first round, and then Yadier puts it on in the next 2. I don't know what that final score is going to be, but either way, I'm interested because, I mean, there's not a lot of fights that we really need to go heavy on. I think the main event, the one we just talked about, the Radke Frunza, and then Johnson Dumas. So this is the next one for me. I want to just be heavy on all of those and hope to hit the nuts with the winner. So I'm taking the underdog to win, but Dalgarian has the higher ceiling, and he's going to hit his ceiling more often when he wins too.
I would say he has the highest ceiling on the slate. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, aside from like a first round or a first minute quick bonus. Yeah.
But I mean, even that, like Dalgarian, I think can outscore that.
And the main event.
125, like on average, kind of the first minute bonus to score. But I think Dalgarian could get 10, 11 takedowns, like if he truly does that in his style and gets about that even in a decision. So yeah, a lot of outs for Dalgarian. Yadier. A good play as an underdog as well for a cheap price tag. One of my favorites, one of my favorite fights to target on the card. All right, 3 mid-tier fights, 3 pretty good ones I'm excited for. Definitely playing in DFS. First one, Themba Grimbo minus 138. Jeremiah Wells plus 118. Minus 150 for this fight to finish. Wells, the underdog, plus 180 inside the distance. Themba plus 215. Themba opened minus 180 in this fight. Money came in on the Wells side, now minus 138. Looking at this one, we haven't seen Jeremiah Wells in a little bit. But man, like wrestling for Themba, that's like all he seems to want to do, 4.81 takedowns per 15. You see with Wells, though, 3.08 takedowns per 15 himself. And Wells, I mean, this dude just throws hooks and bombs for days. I was surprised to see, and I want your take, then break down the fight. Are you surprised to hear that Garimbo has a better KO prop than Wells? And then my only thought was like TKO and stuff on the mat when he's on top, doing it that way. But like on the feet, I don't know how you favor Themba. Do you disagree? How do you see it going?
No, I do like Wells to be the better, more dangerous striker in this one. But I don't really know how I see this one going. I just think it's going to take place mainly on the mat with both guys landing takedowns, and it's just going to be one of those back and forth type of fights. And I don't know that that's good for DFS. If both guys land 3 to 4 takedowns and they're splitting time in top control, and then the other, third of the fight is on the feet, I just don't think it's going to put up a great score for the winner, but it could, and they're in the mid-range. So I just have no idea what to do in this one. The plus made me pick Wells, and I also put 4 stars next to his name because I would probably rather have that $600. So I prefer Wells slightly here, but you could change my mind. I just have no real lean on this one, and I am not sure how this one's going to play out.
It's so tough. I mean, who's the better wrestler? I think Themba is more likely to engage in the wrestling. I think he continues to wrestle. But, I mean, if Wells reverses it and get on top, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel good about Themba on the bottom at all. So I'm really torn on this one, too. And in that sense, I'm torn on this fight, but I also like this fight. Like, I like this fight more than Waldo fight we're going to talk about. I like the Garcia Onama fight obviously the most, but this is my second most favorite in the mid-tier. So I can just jam these two fights pretty heavy. I can get 35% Wells and Garimbo, and it's overweight both, and then still have some fades because I really don't have a strong lean. And props to anyone out there that plays single entry MMA and has success with it. I'm probably as bad as it gets on it. And it's because of stuff like this. You pick you get the fight right that it scores well, but you get the winner wrong, which, I mean, it's minus 138. You're parlaying almost 6 fighters every single week. It's a really hard thing to do. You get the fight environment right, you get it wrong, and your lineup's totally dust. So that's why I play a lot of different teams, roster construction, each team, like, be good in the sense of it's not too duped, etc. But if I had to build a single entry, I truly don't know. Maybe Themba, because the 600 savings, maybe Wells gets steam. Themba doesn't get as much, and he's like a leverage play. But I don't even feel confident in that since salary isn't too tight on this card. So I do think Themba's more likely to initiate the wrestling. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's 600 more. So I truly don't know. And we haven't seen Wells in a while. Like, that could be good. Like we saw with Inoue last week. It could be bad. There's so many unknowns in this one. So yeah, I just talked for a whole minute without even swaying my mind at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I almost want to just let SaberSim decide for me and then hope I'm cool with whatever it chooses. If it gave me 35 on each side, like you said, I don't think I would want that. I think I'd want to be closer to 20 to 25 on both sides, though.
Okay, sounds good. 2 fights left. Appreciate everyone hanging out. Again, like button helps us out a ton. Subscribe button as well. Ante Dila, minus 136. Waldo Cortez Acosta, plus 116. Minus 130 for this fight to finish. Ante plus 180 inside the distance. Acosta plus 275. So you can see on Tuesday, this fight was minus 160 to finish. Now it's minus 130. As you can see on the stone, not much wrestling upside on either side. Both do throw solid volume on the feet. Waldo never been knocked out. D'Elia been finished in 5 of his 6 losses. I'm struggling with this one. I think D'Elia is my preferred play for the sense of I think he gets 90 plus more. His round 1 props better. His inside the distance props better. And I'm hunting for upside in the mid-tier. I do think he's higher owned, though. The cheaper fighter, now the favorite. And Waldo's never been knocked out. So, like, I'm glad you have it a 3-star. Like, heavyweights in a fight expected to finish at 8,200 8K just feels like a slam dunk. But I'm hesitant on this fight. The over's taking money. Not much wrestling upside. A strong mid-tier. This could be a fight I end up underweight on, not overweight, excuse me. So, yeah, I'm curious to hear your breakdown.
Yeah, I think that Ante is the more dangerous striker in this one, more likely to put up 100 plus because he gets a first-round knockout. But Acosta's never been knocked out, like you mentioned, and I think this one goes the distance, and it's going to take place on the feet. I'm hoping Cortez Acosta scores 72 points and a decision win. That's kind of how I see this fight playing out, is maybe the first round goes to Ante and then the second 2 rounds go to Cortez Acosta. And neither one of them is going to put up a big score if this is a striking match and it goes all 3 rounds. So that's what I'm hoping for. And I think heavyweights could just soak on more ownership because of that knockout potential. And I'm kind of going the other way, but I'm fine with both sides of this one. DFS, I probably would prefer the higher ceiling and the $200 savings for the favorite, though, and just take Auntie. But I just want to fade it and hope that he doesn't get the knockout.
Yeah, so what's the other mid-tier fight? Kawamba Lee. This fight or the Waldo fight? Which one are you choosing? Probably Lee over both of them for me, because I think Lee might even be lower owned than Auntie. I'd probably go Lee, Auntie, Waldo, Kawamba. What about you?
Yeah, I might even put Kawamba over Acosta just for the defensive flaws of Lee, kind of hoping that it helps out the Kawamba side. But yeah, I think your rankings are solid.
Cool. All right. Main event time. This one should be all fun, all gas, no breaks for as long as it lasts. Minus 130, Steve Garcia. Plus 110, David Onama. Minus 700 for this fight to finish. Garcia minus 105 inside the distance. Onama plus 135. I guess my question to you, just say you are playing 150 teams. I know you don't always, but if you were, are you making a rule in this one to just jam it?
I don't think I would make a rule, but I think I would make my projections just high enough to where it would end up close to 150.
How does this fight bust?
A striking-based decision. It's just not crazy.
Man, striking-based decision. What is this fight to go to decision? Plus 450 is not crazy. Man, I'm under 2.5 favored. That would be the craziest war of all time if both these dudes can go that long. I mean, David Onama, how he made it 15 minutes against Nate Landwehr was insane.
Yeah, well, I don't think it would be that type of fight, though. I think it would be we're let down by the fight. It's just a sparring match.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're both getting their main event spot, and they're going to go out there and try and take the other one's head off. I just think the wrong guy's favored in this one, so I'm going to be heavy on the Onama side. I think he's the more talented striker, the more dangerous striker. And, I mean, Garcia, how many times – Garcia's been knocked down a lot in the UFC. There's like a bunch of knockdowns in all of his fights. He knocks down almost everyone he fights. But who was it? Mahashate knocked him down a couple times maybe?
We had
Charlie Ontiveros knocked him
Charlie
down.
Ontiveros and then Mahashate both knocked him down twice.
And neither one of those guys are touching Onama's power. So I feel like Onama should be minus 150 here. I bet Onama already. I'm going to be heavy on him. If I make 10 lineups, I'm going to have 10 Onama lineups.
Wow.
If I make 20, I'll start throwing some Garcia in. 150, I'll kind of let SaberSim decide, but I'm going to have Onama projected for more points than Garcia. So I plan on being like 3 times the field on Onama, under the field on Garcia.
Wow. I didn't even have nearly as strong of a take. I was going to be 50.
I can't be 3 times the field if Onama was like 40, 45%.
I know,
I'm going to be higher than the field.
3 times to what you'll have for Garcia, if not more.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. I was so torn. I'm such an Onama guy, but I'm worried. I was worried on the feet. I still am a little bit. Man, Garcia hits so hard, and his takedown defense at 88% makes me think, like, if someone wrestles, it's Onama. But I think he struggles to wrestle, and I'm worried about the cardio if he does take that approach, which does make me think it's on the feet. Man, it's going to be so tough. Steve's left hand is a piston down the middle. I don't feel strongly at all about it. I'd pick Garcia, and I'm a big Onama guy. I don't know. You talked me into – I'll probably just be 50-50. Maybe I'll go 60-40 Onama now at the end of the day. Any Garcia team you build, you can go Onama and leave 400 plus, which is always a nice thing to have. The fight's just so good. It's going to be high owned. I'm going to have 100% in 20 or less. If I had 100% in 150, I'd be totally fine with that as well. It's really hard for me to see this fight not scoring. I mean, I think it's high pace, striking. Maybe Onama mixes in takedowns, and I do expect the winner to score. But man, you're confident on Onama. Maybe if I'm really tilting and I need to get some back, maybe I throw some on Onama at the end of the night. Man, I love it. I love that hot take. Any final thoughts on this card for DFS, real life, anything?
Nah, I hope Onama gets it done. And I hope that fight just pulls through. Whoever wins, I hope it is a knockout. I hope it's a banger because that will definitely help the stock of the winner for sure. And can't really hurt the loser unless their chin starts to fail after that. But I hope it's a fun one, man. I hope that it's a profitable one as well. Good luck to you, Title. Good luck to everybody listening. Let's ship it.
Absolutely. And one other thing you can ship using the promo code SHIP, it's Shout out Splash Sports, a new partner over here. Hooked us up. You get a $50 deposit match when you do use the promo code SHIPIT, and then 100% payout boost on your first quick pick entry, similar to like the Pick Six, DraftKings, some Prize Pick stuff. Splash has been doing a lot of Survivor stuff. They keep adding more contests. They do have quick picks. Getting 100% payout boost is a very big deal, and you get free $50 when you put that in using the code SHIPIT. So shout out to Splash Sports. You'll be seeing more of that on future shows. That's going to do it for us, though. Appreciate everyone hanging out. Again, we'd love to have you at the Nation. Chip $19 for 5 days. Get in the Discord. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. We appreciate everyone watching and hanging out. For Big Marley, I'm Titletown. Good luck this weekend. Be safe. Enjoy. Peace.